All clear goes through. They're racing in the first, and Miss Belair jumped well. The Missionaire a little slow, and Glass Park misses out the back. Lady Knockout tries to find the lead and does so early. Out in front here from All Black Symphony, Miss Belair the inside, and Delafia. They're trailed then by our Sugar Street going up fifth on the outside. About a length and a half further back is Lord Dean. Gussie Godiva on the rail from Kawasaki San. And then came La Missionaire, and back last is Glass Park Miss. At the 1600 metres, Lady Knockout in front. Delafia's a length and a half second. Miss Belair gets the lovely trail, third behind the leader. They're followed by our Sugar Street over on the outside, and Lord Dean, after racing wide, boots forward and gets to second now. Back behind them, Gussie Godiva is running about sixth on the inside as they negotiate the turn around the back of the course, and All Black Symphony is around her. 2 lengths to Glass Park Miss, Kawasaki San, and La Missionaire is last of all at the 1200 metres. And Lady Knockout the leader, Lord Dean 3/4 away second. Back behind them, Delafia is now third, and our Sugar Street is fourth on the outside. About a length further back then, going forward is All Black Symphony as they go to the 1000 metres, and going forward too is Glass Park Miss. So Miss Belair, after following the leader, is now worse than midfield on the rail. She's being followed Kawasaki San, and then came Gussie Godiva, who's back to the tail, and La Missionaire. Coming up towards the turn at the 700 metres, it's been a race of changes, but Lady Knockout's been in front from the word go. Lordine is up second, a neck away as they come up towards the home turn, and they're followed then by All Black Symphony, who'd made a dash round the outside, and Glass Park Miss is coming wide. Elafie is in behind them, and now Miss Belair is getting a run through on the outside of our Sugar Street, and Gussie Godiva is trying to work home. At the 400, Lordine went up to Lady Knockout, 2 lengths to Miss Belair, running on strongly, and then Gussie Godiva pulled to the outside. At the 250, Lady Knockout's kicking on the inside of Lordine. Miss Belair's closing, and Gussie Godiva the outside. Lady Knockout still had the lead, 120 to go to Miss Belair. Gussie Godiva and now La Missionaire, 100 metres, 50 metres out now. Miss Belair's getting up to Lady Knockout, bobbing go to the line. Miss Belair and Lady Knockout have hit the line together. Heads are out of sync. It's very close with Gussie Godiva third, and then La Missionaire, a break Elafia, Lord Dean, followed our Sugar Street, and then came All Black Symphony, trailed in by Glass Park Miss, and Kawasaki San as last of all. Set to run, second on the card. Looks a good line, they're off. Ruben jumping okay towards the inside, and Houseguest got away well. Ruben just got tightened up soon after the jump. Passing shot was away quickly with Tallydane, Racidi. Kashkai is coming across there, and Home Wrecker diving over to the rails. That's the horses over on the inside as they go to the 1000 metres and coming to the grandstand now. And we see Perry Bingle against the outside rail in front. Riscato, the baldy face, second runner, and Fife's deeper out from Keederman. Back behind those horses, Trust in Dreams is the widest of that division, and Gattack against the rail and would be last of the horses on the grandstand side. So they come to the 600. There looked to be very little between these two divisions, and Houseguest had led the flat side by 2 lengths. Tallydane gives chase, and they're followed then by Ruben picking up the pieces, and Home Wrecker's coming with him with Racidi and Kashkai putting in a burst out wider on this side now, and Keederman under the whip had gone up. Gattack getting a rouse run. Fifeshire is still there. Perry Bingle's battling along, and Trust in Dreams on the other side. Tallydane had hit the lead. Home Wrecker's after it, 120 metres to go, and Keederman leads this side with Gattaca, but it's Home Wrecker in front on the inside. Home Wrecker the leader to Tallydane, and Home Wrecker wins it from Tallydane. Kashkai will probably hold third. Keederman isn't far away, first home on this side ahead of Gattaca. Then came Houseguest, who weakened, and next in was Ruben. Ran his race in patches a little, and back behind those were Trust in Dreams and Passing Shot. Perry Bingle, Fifeshire, Racidi towards the end, and Riscato was last in. Lights flash, they're ready. Racing now. Rose Girl won the jump, but Nulatra from the outside got away very fast looking for the lead. Purple Road had jumped out well as they settle down, and Free Hit's up there with Demographic retaining the inside. They put 200 behind them. Demographic leading from Free Hit, and Nulotra's third but wide. A length further back is Try Magic over on the inside, and they're closely followed about a length away in the field by Purple Road and Rose Girl. Back behind those horses then is The Lady, and Madame de Heros is well off the pace today and travelling wide. Next is Bellavici, and they're trailed then by La News at the 800 metres. Carnival Ride second last and about 4 wide, and Cocktail Evenings last of all. Demographic left alone by 2. Free Hit second, Nulotra deep in third. Try Magic behind them in the dark green colours. Madame de Heros coming 4 or 5 wide round them from Purple Road, Rose Girl. Then Bellavici, The Lady staying near the inside. Nothing wants to be on the fence here. And Carnival Magic is coming with a run down the outside at the 400 metres, and Demographic by 2. Free Hit seconds. The Lady's got up on the inside into third. Madame de Heros was running on fairly well, and La News with a run. Demographic still had it, 200 to go. Free Hit looming large, took the lead soon after. Free Hit from Demographic. La News a big danger coming hard. La News getting up to Free Hit. Free Hit, La News. La News finishes too well and beats Free Hit. Demographic third. Rose Girl just held 4. I think ahead of, on the outside of it was Madame de Heros, and then Carnival Ride out wider, followed by The Lady, Nulotra, and further back to finish was Try Magic, Purple Road, and then at the tail of the field was Cocktail Evening. Big finishing run down the outside. Darren Gauci on the Len Morton trained La News, number 12 to win. $13 and $3.30. Second placing, 10 Free Hit. Stephen Baster, 260. Bridal Smile to run favourite. Has gate number 8. They're ready. Good line. Racing. Unbridled Smile jumped well, and so did Wyndham Glory, heading to the outside rail in company with Appian Way. In fact, they're all going to come grandstand on this occasion. Edgston had begun fast, and Wonder Workers not far off, and Cook Street had dropped in behind them. Roehampton is settling towards the tail of the field, taking a fair while to work over to the outside. Past the 800, Edgston had the lead and crossed to the outside rail in front. Wonder Worker is up with it, and Unbridled Smile comes well away from the rail. Wyndham Glory just off them from Cook Street, and Tessuto getting up behind them, and Appian Way closer to the outside rail here, being followed then by It's You. Well back is Pom de here, and back last is Roehampton, past the 400 metres now, and it's Edgston on the rails. Wyndham Glory the middle, Unbridled Smile under a lot of pressure trying to reach them. Then Wonder Worker followed by Cook Street, who's running on fairly well, and next to Pseudo. Wyndham Glory and Edgston past the 200, clear to Unbridled Smile. Wyndham Glory at the 120, led by about a length here to Edgston. Unbridled Smile, and then Appian Way, but it's Wyndham Glory finding enough under the whip, and Wyndham Glory by a length and a half. Edgston second. Appian Way, I think, will grab third there ahead of Unbridled Smile, and then Cook Street, followed by Pom de here, and behind these were Wonder Worker and Tessuto. It's You, and Roehampton just didn't seem to want to race today. It was last all of the way. 1 minute 3.5. Wyndham Glory is the winner, ridden by Damien Oliver for Tony McAvoy. Up on the pace all of the way, the son of Rory's Jester has won first up from a spell. Went round at the Gold Coast last time out. He led them up, but folded up, but back to 1100 metres freshened.
He led back in 1990. Now for Jayco Caravans, let's join Greg Miles at Flemington.
First of the 2 big Group 1 races on the day. Here's Hammerbeam and the Old Cerise about to come in. The way things panned out in the last 1400 metre race, he could well be nicely placed here. He's a get-back horse, and we saw a real sweeper win the last time in the 1400 in the third race today with La News. But the favourite is subscribed, $260,000 buy. Here's Weinstock now going in. It's been a model of consistency, and does have a pull in the weights on subscribe for their meeting in the Veuve Clicquot. Now the New Zealanders coming along, Mr. Ubiquitous. Next up will be Superior Satine, brother to Reduced Choice. He's been placed in 2 starts to date that he's had. Yukon King, who's now riderless, being chased up to the gates. In he goes. Next along will be Cross Current. Vincent Hall has a red cap. Dress code coming in. So just the last 4 and we'll have them right to go. Solid favourite, Subscribe. Beautifully bred 2-year-old he is. $260,000 buys out of Danelaar, who of course won a Blue Diamond. Now Del Zao moves up into the gates. There's Snip Attack going in. Damien Oliver on board. He won this on Pride of Rancho in 1993. Snip Attack leading all the way to win down in Launceston in their biggest 2-year-old event. There's Cavalier Approach going in. So Fresh Boy, who has the outside barrier, will complete the line for the Group 1 sires. So the youngsters are ready. Racing. And King's Choir a little slow on the inside. Winestock flew out of the gates and landed narrowly in front. Subscribe's going to settle midfield, perhaps a touch worse. Mr. Ubiquitous drives through, now goes to the lead at the 1200 ahead of Cross Current, Winestock and Snip Attack. Just behind these is Cavalier Approach on the outside of Hammerbeam, not getting too far back, and they're followed further back in the field as Snip Attack goes to the lead now by King's Choir midfield on the rail from Superior Satine out wide and Yukon King between horses. A length further back is Dress Code, Subscribe, Del Zao and Lanquin in a bunch, and last is Fresh Boy by the 800 now, and Snip Attack the leader up towards the bend, a length and a half in front of Cross Current. Mr. Ubiquitous a length and a half then to Cavalier Approach, fourth the outside of Winestock, and next is Hammerbeam as they cornered. Del Zao pulls out wide round the outside. Lanquin comes deeper. Superior Satine in the yellow colours just ahead of these. Let's see Subscribe now. He's got to the outside. He's one away from the extreme outside. Spots the leader about 8 lengths. And it's Snip Attack against the rails in front of Cross Current coming after it. Winestock ease it over their heels and he's coming home very strongly. Fresh Boy has come from last. He's coming with a run. And Subscriber's very wide but too far back. Winestock hit the lead at the 100 metre mark. Fresh Boy's after him, followed by Cross Current. Winestock is clear under the whip though, and the iron 2-year-old Winestock is first, Fresh Boy second. Hammerbeam might have grabbed third, I'd say, in front of Cross Current, and behind these Subscribe, and they were followed then by Cavalier Approach, Snip Attack, and then Mr. Ubiquitous, Superior Satine. Dress Code never came into it, followed by King's Choir, Yukon King, Lanquin, and Del Zao was last in the sires. Winestock, Brett Preble and Terry O'Sullivan have taken out the Group 1 VRC Sires Produce. A beautiful ride, sitting close to the pace and producing when it mattered over the final 300 metres. Turning the tables on Subscribe, who got well back in the field and wasn't able to produce. Winestock sitting up on the pace. On Subscribe, who got well back in the field and wasn't able to produce. Winestock sitting up on the pace, and Brett Preble delivering a Group 1 win for one of the first trainers to recognise his great talents in Terry O'Sullivan, his first master from stall. Winestock, Brett Preble, his first victory in this Group 1 event. He'd been placed a couple of times. It's his first Sires Produce win, and likewise too for stall mentor Terry O'Sullivan. Winestock first, bought for just $21,000. And he's repaid his owners over and over with now 3 victories and 2 placings from just 5 racetrack outings.
How about that for a bargain buy? His prize money now is over $500,000. He's proven to be a very, very good investment. Andrew Bensley is with his connections.
Well done, Terry O'Sullivan.
Thank you very much. I was elated, actually.
You were when the horse got to the lead, but just take us back. There was a bit of pace early. The horse got back on the inside and just wanted to throw its head around.
He did a bit early. I think the fact that he's probably led or shared the lead the last couple, he just took a little while to settle. I think he thinks that's what he's got to do, but then he did settle nice for Brett, and I thought his ride was sensational.
As I said before the race, you've had a great ride, the English Premier, now this. How much did he cost you going back to the sales?
21,000. So he's been he's bloody cheap now.
And what's this do for Terry O'Sullivan, a trainer based at stall?
Helps pay the bills, I'll tell you. But yeah, no, it's just a wonderful thrill, you know. I've never won a Group 1. I've been placed in a couple, but huge thrill.
And with Brett Preble too, a youngster that you taught years ago.
Yeah, Brady started with me when he was 14, so it was great.
Tremendous. Well done to you, Terry. A great thrill. I can sense that in your voice.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Well done. Terry O'Sullivan getting quite emotional there at the end, but well done to him. And Brett Preble, of course, his last day of riding before he heads to Hong Kong for a contract that will last until the end of September.
Andrew, I can't find him anywhere in Golden Slipper betting. Do you know if Terry will bring him up to Sydney for a crack at the slipper?
I'll ask him. I doubt very much. You're not in the slipper, Terry, are you?
Oh, we're not.
No, you're not. Any thoughts?
We're looking at the Heroic, the Classic on Easter Saturday.
All right, the Heroic on Easter Saturday. There it is, straight from Terry. And not in the Golden Slipper at this stage, Matt.
No, unless they want to fork out 100,000 as a late entry fee to get him in. He's pretty good, though. You've got to give him that. He's had 5 starts for 3 wins, and that was a fairly dominant. Now, Northerly, number 1, starts us off. 6-year-old gelding trained by Fred Kersley, the winner of $8 million. Alf Matthews joins us for the parade. Back to weight for age today for Northerly. Alf, he's certainly the one to beat.
Certainly is, Matt. Looks absolutely fantastic. And, I really just thought he lost the race in the first 100 metres the other day, where I don't believe he began perfectly. I think drawn the outside today suits. He'll be winning.
Let's move on to Don Eduardo, number 2 from the Lee Friedman stable. Now, I thought his run last time out was quite encouraging in the Carline Cup, Alf.
Well, I'm glad you thought that, Matt, because I did too, in a race that was too short for him. And I'm telling you one thing, in terms of horses improving in appearance, he's the one.
Fields of Omar, this could be the big danger to Northerly. Most people think he is, from the Tony McAvoy stable. He's been runner-up at his last 2 starts. He likes the big straight there at Flemington, Fields of Omar.
Yeah, it just concerns me sometimes. Horses try so hard. How often can they keep trying and producing the best they can and still get beaten? And I suppose it only concerned me when he met Northerly last start. Northerly was getting away from him over the concluding stages. I don't know, perhaps one will crack one day, I'm not sure. Look, he doesn't look bad, he looks okay, but I'm just a bit of a query.
Here's Distinctly Secret, the Kiwi. He'll be fitter after 2 runs this time in.
Yes, certainly. And, people shouldn't forget this horse. Like, this did run 3rd in a McKinnon Stakes behind Lonhro and got beaten less than a half a length. This horse looks very well.
Mr. Trickster, number 5. Here's the horse that caused the big upset last time out, but he's back to weight for age today, Alf.
Well, it just goes to show, Matt, you can be the right place at the right time with the right weight, and that was the case for Mr. Trickster. I would have thought at the weight for age scale he would struggle a little bit today.
Number 6, Borelli, is not running, so let's move on to number 7, Oscar Eric from the Gary Farrell stable. Look, he's a good, honest horse, but, gee, this is the Australian Cup, Alf.
Exactly my sentiments, Matt. Looks well. He's, racing very consistently, but nevertheless in much, much lesser grade, and has to go up in weight on that too.
Natural Blitz, the colt from the Doug Harrison stable at Cranbourne, up and coming 3-year-old. This is his first go at 2,000 now, but he ran on very well at Caulfield.
Matt, I like the way he finished off, and he got to the leaders. I thought a little bit too early the other day, yet it made no difference to him at all. He was still actually able to race away from them. That's what I liked about it. I tell you what, he could be the horse that really does figure out in the placings here.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. We might just check the Brisbane dividends on the previous and we'll come straight back for the latest on the Australian Cup. But there's Northerly about to lead them out for the 2003 Cup. Now here's those Eagle Farm totes. Road Spy, Reprendre. No, Jugful is a very, very short-priced favourite. Okay, Alf, back to you for the late mail. You said Northerly will be winning, hey?
Yes, look, I don't think you have to be a road scholar to work that one out, Matt. He's the class horse in the race, and, yeah, on top. As I said in my parade, look, I just thought he lost the race in the first 150 metres the other day, where he just didn't step beautifully out of the gates. I just think drawn the outside, it suits him well, and if anything tries to ride to beat him, they'll certainly suffer. But no, Northerly has trained on really nicely, looks very good. I'm putting Don Eduardo in to run second because I tell you what, I liked his last performance, wasn't beaten all that far behind No Deposit. We know how it was flying. Now the horse carries this weight all the time, and I tell you what, this horse has improved as far as I'm concerned in condition and appearance. I think it'll be running a good race. The 3-year-old I'm also going to include, gets a little bit of weight relief at The weight for age scale here really has trained on very nicely. And also number 3, Fields of Omar. I suppose you've got to include it, but I suppose putting it in as 4th, I don't know whether in fact I am including it, because I thought Distinctly Secret looked very well indeed. However, 1 ahead of 2, 8 and 3, Andrew, has Don Eduardo improved?
Well, we'll find out with trainer Lee Friedman.
I think he's improved significantly over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He was big first up. We then took 3 weeks to put the work into him. I thought he ran terrific the other day and in an unsuitable race. And he's made improvement again this week. There's a little bit of improvement left in him, but I'm expecting to run really well.
He's a horse that you've told me in the last couple of weeks that does relish the work. You put a lot of work into him, but he seems to just relish that sort of thing.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of rushing through the salt water too, which is work without them really working on their legs. And I'm very happy where he's at the moment. I think he'll run well.
How do you feel about it then? All the talk northerly, Fields of Omar. Can you upset him?
They're only flesh and blood. I mean, it's possible. It's happened in this race before. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
Good luck, Lee.
Thanks.
Lee Friedman joining us. I'll run through what's happening on track. Northerly, there's been support. He's very short, but the horse has been supported. Near enough the tote there. $1.50, just under what they're betting. Don Eduardo's been a drifter on track. $12 is under what they're betting. Fields of Omar, drifter on track, near enough the mark at $3.70. Distinctly Secret and Mr. Trickster value both of those horses. Oscar Eric, the big outsider, will be up on the lead on the pace, and Natural Blitz, it's the 3rd pick on track, and there is some value to tote at around that $11.30 quote. So on track, it's favourite 1 Northerly, ahead of 3 Fields of Omar and 8 Natural Blitz. They're the top 3 as they go to the barrier for the Group 1 Australian Cup. Will Northerly win his 2nd Australian Cup? We'll find out after this break. Australian Cup Day 2003 on Sky Racing, live from Flemington.